So this is your metronome. Uh, your metronome there. Okay, you have your metronome works together with your tempo. All right, see, it works together with your tempo. So whichever tempo you selected, that's what your metronome is going to count for you. And you have different sounds of it. You have the tick, you have the beep, you have the count there. If you right click on it, that's the options comes in. If you right click on it, the options comes in. And you pick whichever one you're comfortable with. So we have your record arm button. If you arm that stuff, you start recording. But if it's the first time installation, what really happens when you arm that, you see a whole list of dialog box comes on. You just go to everything on that dialog box, click everything, and you start recording. But I don't like going through rigorous process of when I click and the dialog box comes on, I go to everything. So what I did was I just checked a little box down there that says don't show or don't ask, something like that at the down part. So it gives me the option that once I click, I just start recording immediately. All right. Which other little thing haven't I told you? Okay. How to bring in your samples. How to bring your samples to the browser, like an external sample which you you downloaded or you collected from friends or you manufactured on your own. You want to bring in external sample, head on to option. Okay, go to file settings. Once you go to file settings, this little folder icons right here, if you click any of them, it will take you uh, to say browse for folder. Okay, you go to the area where you have stored your samples. This is where I stored my Arinet samples. If I click there, okay, if I click on that Arinet samples and it's highlighted and I click OK, it automatically comes into FL Studio. Alright, I already have it there, so I wouldn't want to click OK, because if I click OK there as it's been highlighted, it will automatically come into FL Studio, and that's it. So once it comes in, you click off and it stays right there. Alright, so that's how to import or impute your samples, your external samples in FL Studio. These are sample packs, these are FL sample packs. Okay, these are my own sample packs. Alright, okay, that is that. So yes, FL Studio made it possible that whenever you're working and maybe you've done some processes on FL Studio and uh, you want to go back to a particular thing you did before, it gives you a certain list of options of jobs, or let's say jobs of the things you've done within that project that you can go back to and continue from that part, like a history. Okay, so that's the history. So almost all the things you've done for a certain limit of time is there. Okay, like if you check what I did last was the knob tweak tempo. If I click this other one, it takes me to a fourth backwards to what I did. All right, that's 59 right there at the tempo area. If I click that other one, that's 100 right there. So whatever thing you do on FL Studio within the limit of time, it's not everything. It has a number of calculated history. Okay, so it brings them up. Just like if I want to go back to what I did on as a knob panning, That's on my mixer. That's my mixer right there. If I want to go back to and start working from where I did the panning, I can go back there. Okay, I can go back there. I'll go back here. Look at this little thing right here. Okay, see what I did before. That's exactly what effort does for you. Okay, so if you have worked 3 or 4, 5 steps ahead and you want to return back to a previous step, maybe that previous step is the best, or it was the best step for you, and you want to return to 3 or 4, 5 previous step, you can come to your history and locate the previous step and start working from that place. But one option is whenever if you like if I as I have clicked this path right now and I start again working, these other options these other options from here down to this place, you would not see it again. It will assume you have overwritten every other step downwards here, and it's going to start from this particular area, which is the knob tweak and SAT1 stereo separation to start working. So you won't be able to get this other part again. All right. Although I'm going to teach you practically how this works. But for the moment, have a knowledge that you always have a history stored somewhere, just in case you want to go back to a previous step you have undertaken. Okay, that is that. That's why the history is there. And recent files, yeah, recent files. If you did a job recently and there was a sample, okay, or a plugin you used and you couldn't find it within the browser or within uh, your locators, you can go to recent file and search for that plugin. It actually still have a limited number of recent files, so it must be a most recent job you have done, or else you won't find it within the recent file. And there's another thing I want to teach you. If you go to option and you go to manage plugins, okay, no, not there, not there. I wouldn't want to dive into how to bring in plugins for now. Okay, go to options. Let's say general setting. Yeah, go to general setting. FL Studio does something for you. FL Studio does something for you on yeah, on file. Thank you. That's on file. All right. It says here auto save. So it says frequently every 5 minutes and before risky operations. Now, if you click this dialog box, it means FL Studio frequently saves your job every 5 minutes of your work, and also before any risky operations like maybe your computer, your system starting hanging, FL Studio automatically saves your job. So whenever you go to FL Studio, go to File, come to this auto save, and click the dialog box there. Come to frequently every 5 minutes and before risky operations, and click and set it there, so that you don't get to lose your jobs. Okay, there are other options you can take. If you think it's regularly every 5 minutes you want to go, it's fine, but I like putting frequently every 5 minutes and before risky operations, so that before any risky operations, FL Studio is going to save my job. And if it saves it, I can go back. If I open FL Studio again, if it's crashed, if that job is crashed, I can go to FL Studio, or maybe I'm saving and something happened to my power. Okay, I can go back to FL Studio in the next opening and go to File and go to Revert to Last Backup. So once you click Revert to Last Backup, it's going to bring in the last job you did. Okay, it's going to bring in the last job you did, that the job before you open FL Studio again. That's what I mean.